From a box of fiberglass, a brand new Boston Whaler is born.
You know when you take it from the construction phase to the oh my god stage?
Such. The sin rounds are 2 screens.
Welcome to the Experience Center.
And this sketch actually here, that's like a Dick Fisher era sketch.
Seeing our first US Dolphins, mate, on a Boston Whaler. Hey.
I still can't believe it.
No, neither can I.
Today here in Dallas, a dream comes true, but the first thing we have to do is run out the door and catch a plane.
Once I'm done here, we can go. I'm stuck on TikTok, so it might be a while.
Awesome.
Alrighty, so we've flown all the way from Perth, Australia to Orlando because surprisingly enough, Boston Whaler, the company, has invited us out for a private tour. And thanks to Trish and Katie for 1, we get to get a private Boston Whaler factory tour. 2, we get to see where Boston was born. And if we're lucky, number 3, maybe take one for a spin.
The trip from the Orlando International Airport to Edgewater was around about an hour and a half. A storm blew in, but thankfully it disappeared as soon as we arrived.
Enjoy your
Thank
day.
you, my friend. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Now, the first part of the tour we're not actually going to be able to share with you because we did sign some NDAs, so we can't share the secrets of Boston Whaler, and we're not going to. But the thing is the floor, going on the tour and seeing how Boston Whalers start their journey and end their journey really opened my eyes to the whole process. Just so you know, as I said at the beginning of the video, every Boston Whaler begins its life in a cardboard box. It has fiberglass in it, a number written on the side, which is normally the type of boat it's going to be, and then some other numbers for tracking. But mate, I couldn't believe it all began in a box.
For me, it was more so I was blown away by how much detail they focus on. They'll literally go around with like a, not a black light, but pretty much like a torch to every inch of the boat, to something you can't see, hold it against the edge and then circle it, and they'll literally sand that off till it doesn't exist. And that's around every inch of the boat, including the bottom where you're not going to be seeing.
Because the thing was when they actually made the fiberglass and then put it together and filled it full of foam, that process in itself was awesome to watch. And they take it outside to cure for a couple of days, then they bring it back inside. Caleb's right, their eye for detail is over the whole process, and it is all handmade. I didn't think it was going to be hand. I thought there was going to be big machines and robots. It was mainly people going around with little lights and making things perfect.
I was about to say, and the best part about it was not just that it was literal people, the amount of organisation they had. And each person has their job and they move forward through that system. But to find out that
they love what they're doing. We actually met the Whalers is what they call themselves there.
They're not Bostons there.
No, they're not Bostons. We call Boston Whaler Boston. They call themselves Whalers over there. And the thing was that Trish and Katie knew all their names.
Oh, thank you, Jose.
And everyone had a role, and it was like a symphony of creating something that just worked seamlessly all the way down the line. I knew a lot of work went into the Boston Whaler to make them, all the design, all the modelling and so on. But I didn't expect the amount of, lack of a better word, love put into the boats.
Passion.
The passion, even better word. The passion put into the boats has certainly made me love Boston Whaler even more than I did before we went. See, Katie and Trish were then able to take us onto the finishing floor, which is something we were allowed to film some items. And in this one, we find not only a boat that Caleb loves to buy.
I found my joyride.
Yep, I love to buy. We also found a boat for Sammy. This is supposed to be a good one for Sam. 160 Sport, Samuel. This is the finished product of the boat that they're saying you should be able to get, Sam. I think it's already sold. But this, Sam, is a beautiful first boat. And that's just storage?
That would be
Storage?
when normally put their anchor.
An anchor slot.
In there you got your storage for your anchor.
Gotcha. In the Q&A, they mark all defects so they know what they have to get out. They do a really good job of it. Like, really good job. So much work into these hulls. These doors are made all by hand. And they're actually made one at a time. Yeah, but see, we've got the extended shaders on the inside. Oh, it does too. It's got short shade, mate. Wow, and it actually inserts into the canopy. Walking around these beautiful, nearly finished boats prompted me to try and find my dream boat, a Boston Whaler 325.
Now I can't verify that it's not dirty,
Oh, it doesn't matter.
but this is what we do is we stage these ones here because they're not finished yet. So we're waiting for spare
Gotcha.
parts,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. Like you'll see in some of these are in various conditions. It appears to be missing its half transom seat. So there's a bolster here that would flip up as a bolster. You're gonna lift up the bolster,
Yep.
and you would pull out a bench seat here. And it's also missing its lid. So this would be the bilge lid.
325. The sin rats are 2 screens, twin engine 400s, as well as the dot. Oh, so very good. And table underneath, toilet underneath, storage underneath. Wow.
Safe entrance on and off the boat. This particular model, we took the side windscreens here and we brought them lower down. See how these ones are kind of just parallel to the water line?
Yeah.
These ones we cut down so that when you're sitting here in this the port side lounge here, you feel like you can see the water. You're on the water. You have a single screen, so single windscreen across the front of those vents. So there's nothing to block your vision. Which if you look over on the 285, you've got a beam up the middle. So there's little details like that when we redesigned this model. It's one of my favorite spots to ride when I'm underway. Is you're gonna ride out here under this facing aft.
Oh,
so that way then
so
you
your feet.
Here. What are your fishing? You're underneath the shade, right?
Yeah.
See underneath the
That's it. You can just sit there and watch the rods as well. See, that's where back of the boat babies.
Yeah.
your fish and such. So you've got this nice little top here, but then you also have this put for your barbecue, so you can have your barbecue set up.
Electric from batteries or gas?
These ones are not gas; they are electric.
Electric. Mr. Caleb, are you in agreement with that?
So I'm in love with this.
I knew you would be.
Underneath here, but this is gonna slide forward, and then you've got this table will pop up so that you've got seating here around a big table.
Yeah. And the engineering on these.
Oh, this was quite the machine that they put together. They did a lot of engineering behind this. Design and
Hydraulics.
engineering.
So the size, it's bigger than ours. Yeah.
Pretty much the same size as ours.
Yeah, bigger than ours, which is good. We do have to learn how to use those,
Yeah, we
right?
have to start getting those.
The 325 was unbelievably beautiful, even though it wasn't finished yet. But now was time to meet some of the whalers who bring these beautiful boats to life.
Nelly works on detailing these just before they go out. So she's getting that perfectly clean before we wrap them.
Wow.
That's my job right there. Not much, but it plays a part, plays a role.
It certainly does. And the one thing we learned today is about how everything plays a part along the whole line to make the boats beautiful at the end. You know, when you take it from the construction phase to the oh my God stage. Because I remember the first time we had our boat clean, I couldn't take my eyes off it, let alone. And I had it like, Queen Park too, Gator.
Yeah, it's fun. You're gonna love this boat. If you ever got a chance to buy it, they range from like 20, 30,000 for the small boats, but they range from there all the way to probably over $2 million just for one boat.
Yeah, we're all
They're
having
so
a
big.
what the. Because I think high-speed camera at home, we get it for Nelly.
Oh, I think that she was brilliant.
Yeah, she was. She was awesome. And I love this, mate. See this here?
Yeah.
This is what sold me on Boston Whaler. Right here.
That's it. What is that?
Creating legendary experiences across generations. And that's it. Right, here we go.
Welcome to the Experience Center.
Go, buddy.
Rod, nice to meet you. Rod.
Oh, makes it easy, doesn't it? Paul, nice to meet you, Paul. Who's Dan? Dan, how are you, Dan? How are you, mate? My son, Caleb.
Before it was built, this is what he did as a concept before we had any
When it
construction
started,
stuff.
like we knew we had this building and they gave me just like the size 24 by 32. And I'm like, all right, how high is the ceiling? I don't know, about 8 feet or whatever. I'm like, okay, so I built the entire thing in Rhino, which is the same program we use for modeling the boats.
Yeah.
And then as I started building it out, detailing it out, I'm like, all right, we're gonna need furniture. And initially we had some of the furniture that we had on hand for our trade shows. We're like, all right, we'll just use that same furniture and then we'll recycle it. But for the amount of trade shows and things that we have and taking furniture in and out, it just became easier to get our own set of chairs. So
That wall over there, this wall right here, this design wall, these are all custom made, and then the way that the shelves are hung over there is actually scrap pieces of the railing that were outside the railing. We did too. We couldn't find anybody that wanted to do stainless steel rod railing, so did that myself. So when it just came down to we needed this stuff to look like this and we needed it done in time.
So in other words, just like your boat, you've made something out of nothing.
yeah.
Literally.
They drew a picture of it and then just said make it be.
Yeah.
Yeah, want to expand a little bit more.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more infrastructure. So
Yeah. Because I know they were talking about having a museum and all that type of stuff attached and so on. Yeah.
And this sketch actually here, that's like a Dick Fisher era sketch. When I forget which model it was offhand, but the vellum sheet is dated to like 60 something.
And the Montauk's are carded ones.
This is the newer one, yeah. So
Yeah.
Jacob Wilson, he's actually signed the cards for you guys. Jacob Wilson's one of our talented designers.
Yeah.
Everything on the website right now, he's had a hand on sketching and whatnot. So these are some of his original
What he does?
cooking sketches.
So, mate,
This is from Kristen, actually. This is from Charlie Foss and John Barbier, who's the design director right now. This is the Wilson version.
So they draw these by hand to then show a concept to then enter into the computer so the computer knows what to design.
Yeah, but depending on the power of the idea, if we're figuring something out, we'll start pen and paper because it's kind of the easiest way to figure it out, almost to connect from your hand to the paper.
Yeah.
And then polish it up, we bring the computer in, sketch it on screen, and then we actually have to model it too. So it's a lot of things people don't know. So we model everything that we draw.
Yeah.
And then we show that to engineering, and then our model becomes the engineering model. So
Which they then
hand
base all the
offers,
measurements off to then go from the model to the actual.
Exactly. So it's more than just styling. It's ergonomics and dimensions. That's all industrial design.
And that's the foam in action.
Yeah, these are actual cross sections.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not sure which boat it is exactly, but these are kind of tests. So we'll see how much foam is inside of a cross section, how many air gaps, what we have to do to kind of tune and dial that in.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a hand-built process,
It's pretty cool.
it's pretty exact. Yeah.
When we finished the tour of the Experience Centre, both Captain Rob and Trish decided it was time for us to get out on the water. They decided to take us out on one of their test boats, a Dauntless 280, which was stored at the back of the factory.
I think it's the perfect boat because this is literally my backyard. This is where I do all my boating. I live just a couple miles north.
Yeah.
And our backwaters get very shallow, so you need something with a shallow draft, and then something that's really easy to beach on and off. And I do all my fishing inshore. I don't really go offshore too much.
What do you fish for here?
Snook, trout, redfish, sheephead are the most popular ones. You can cast out and get mullet pretty much anywhere that you want, and that's typically what we'll fish for, or we'll use as live bait as mullet. A lot of people like to smoke them and make a dip out of them, and it's really good.
After we said goodbye to the dolphins, Captain Rob asked us what speed we'd like to go to get to lunch. Well, the answer was obvious.
And these boys over here, I'm guessing they're fishing in the mangroves?
Yeah,
Would that be what they'd be doing?
Yeah, mangroves are a hot spot for snappers. So gray snapper, mangrove snapper, they call them the same thing.
Yeah.
But they're really good to eat. I think 11 inches, so you don't even have to get a very big one to catch them if you want to.
Lunch was our next stop, and I have to admit we were all starving. But it was going to involve a dish we'd never tried before. Gator bites.
Come on. Gator bites, come on. They look really good too.
They do. That's chicken. Yeah, it's tail.
Really?
It's gator tail. The sauce is really good.
Gator tail, alright.
It's
Well,
tail. Yeah, that's really good.
like chicken.
Wrapping up the day on the back of the boat, watching my son have the time of his life as we made our way back to the factory reminded me again why buying a boat was the best decision we'd made for our family. And I am so glad we chose Boston Whaler.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Jack.
Sam, and then
Definitely.
we have two hats for you guys.
Oh, they're going straight on the boat.
And then
Oh, you damn well know those hats are very low.
Yes, they would be perfect.
Yes. Do you know what sizes you guys are?
I'm probably an extra large, and you're probably a medium. I'll destroy that. But thank you so much. No, seriously, thank you so much.
Anytime. Safe travels, you guys.
Certainly, well, thank you. That was awesome. Hats, Boston Whaler.
The one thing of the trip, and we do have to say thank you to Trish and Katie again for pulling it all together, and everyone at Boston Whaler. I now look at Boston now and sort of know how they did it.
I don't want to sound cringe.
Yeah.
But does it kind of feel like you're a part of a new family or a new group?
Mate, I can now see why when people say I'm a whaler and those type of things. I can truly see it because everything on here I now know was handmade. And I even know primarily how, hopefully, to fix a lot of it because we had a look on the inside before it was made.
I won't push it me that far.
Well,
please
we know a
don't-
little bit.
Please don't take a drill to Boston.
We know a little bit.
The entire experience, first off, us going there in the beginning of everything when we started this channel was nothing shy of a dream.
I still look at it and go, did that happen? Someone from the other side of the planet asking to come and see where their boat was made. some they didn't even know, and
Two
then
crazy
welcome them.
fellas like us
Yep,
as well.
welcome them like family members is a story I think you'll definitely want to hear. So obviously, if you want to hear that, hit the subscribe, follow along. You know what to do.
If you were about to say in any other words, if you want to watch any of our future videos that has a bald man, that's a lot of fun.
And a hungover boy.
A boy that's,
just so
yeah.
everyone knows, he's hungover again.
If you can't, I just like sick. This is my last now. I've now got blue in the back of my hair. I don't know where that come from.